Hello, lovely people. I welcome you once again to Bright and Clara's channel. Thank you for clicking. This is episode 14 on a 5-bedroom house that we are putting up for Mr. James. This project is located at Tema Community 25. Alright, so in your view, it's a typical 3D. Kindly tell your architect to provide you a typical 3D of how your house is going to look like. So you will need an architectural drawing, a structural drawing, and a 3-dimension 3D. Okay, these are the 3 documents you need from your architect after you've paid your money to them. Alright, drawing might take a while, but eventually you will get all your documents. Alright, so in your view is what we call the decking formwork. Decking or formwork or first floor floor decking. Various terminologies, but let's just stick to one: decking. So in your decking, you have the plywood, wire board, bamboos. This actually completes the formwork. And then once he's done, he placed the black rubber on the surface. Once he's done, a steel fixer comes on board and places all the iron bars. After the steel fixer, a plumber and electrician comes, and then once he's done, the carpenter comes finally to place a wire board along the peripheral to give a gauge as to how the concrete should be cast, and that is 6 inches for the gauge. Okay, so once that is done, then the day of casting commences. So here you can see that we are casting the concrete. Now we are focusing much on the beams. The beams are very, very important. They need to go, and then you need to stick in the wood to ensure that every corner, the concrete goes in there, so that once you remove the board, it looks beautiful. So that is very important. Now, again, you look at the plumbing works. They've been tied with a binding wire. Okay, as you can see, all the plumbing works, they've been tied with binding wires to ensure they are in position. Some you see a mortar underneath to give it a slope. They're just not sitting there just like that. No, they've been tied with a binding wire. Okay, and this will ensure a steady steep slope, so that once there's water in the bathroom or you flush your toilet, it could move steadily straight to the waste or the soakaway. These are very, very important. Now, if we look at the electrical piping works, okay, there are some stones underneath the iron rods. The purpose of these is to suspend the iron rods so they don't end up compressing the pipes. Once the pipe is compressed, there's a hole in it, concrete gets stuck in, and the electrician is not able to do his work. And that is why in most cases you see people after the casting, the electrician come, they try to run their cables, and they said, oh, pipe now blocking. The pipe is blocked. So ensure that all these, but before the electrician goes ahead and do his piping work, they need to put all these stones. And I used to do that when I was a last apprentice working with Mr. Frank Hammond. Reggie Manuel, Paraku, Domi Pillar 1, Pillar 2, Ashoman Estate, Cantonment, Trade Fair area. I used to work in so many places. I'm the last person, so I used to go around picking stones from the ground and then putting them underneath the iron bars so the other seniors could lay the pipes. I used to do that. And mostly when I do that, I go ahead, I position all the circular bosses, and then we lay the pipe. I used to bend all the pipes where they are 90 degrees, 60 degrees, 45 bend. I used to bend all those pipes, sometimes with sand and heat, and then sometimes I use the spring to bend all my pipes. Yes, so Mr. Frank Hammond gave me a very tedious training. Okay, yes, I used to do all the chiseling work. Yeah, it wasn't easy at all. So during the casting, we have to place wire board on top of the reinforcement bars so we don't affect some of the pipes and also even the wheelbarrows. Now, prior to casting, a day before the casting, we need to set all the concrete mixtures. They need to be ready a night before. You understand? That is very, very crucial. Your sand, your stones, water, by morning time, all those things should be ready. Cement, everything should be ready. Okay, you might need extra wheelbarrows in case you're the one handling your home project. You might need extra wheelbarrows. A wheelbarrow probably is around 20 cedis per day. You would need about 4 to 5 of them. You understand? But you also need to purchase your own wheelbarrows. At least have 2 wheelbarrows in your house. It serves a good purpose. 2 wheelbarrows, 2 headpans or 4 headpans, shovels, pickers. Have those things always in your house so that you're not always in trouble. The black rubber, as you see, the DPM are very, very important. So the DPM sometimes are going for 600, 650, 700, depending on your location. Okay, so that's how it goes. Now, Mr. Hammond uses Interplast for all his piping work. Are you with me? Yes, Interplast. It is very, very important. My plumber uses pressure pipes for all his floor decking works. Wherever he's having piping within the block work, all these are pressure pipes. It is very, very important. So Stephen is indicating that they've cast all the beams. All the beams have been cast. Now they can start pouring the concrete on the surface. Pouring the concrete on the surface. You understand? And some floors are huge. It might take a day. It might take 2 days. Some are very small. It just take a day and it's done. You understand? Yes, this is very crucial, and therefore typical or critical attention is required. Now, the carpenter is available. He needs to be there on the day of casting, such that perhaps they might forget not to nail some, and there might be some openings, and therefore they need to be there to ensure that in case there's any openings, they can strike a nail in there and make sure they straighten things up. So here, Mr. Samuel Edu is available. Okay, yes, steel bender is around in case of anything. Plumber is at site. You understand? So it's very, very important. So here in casting of concrete, we have to apply the Vitalia, the waterproof and anti-salt chemical. Is being added into the concrete so we could, seal all the pores within the concrete so that when it rains, there's no water, running from the top to the bottom. You understand? So waterproof cement is very, very important. We added Vitalia. Okay, so that is it. So Mr. Steven is doing a wonderful job. My steel bender is a wonderful steel bender. In case you need his services, please do not hesitate to contact him. He'll be of great service to you. You understand? Concrete mixtures, mostly when I'm preparing estimate for my clients, you see me writing concrete mixture for the floor decking. Some are going for 700, some are going for 800, depending on the capacity of the concrete mixture. But averagely, they are 700 for a day. If you go for 2 days, you have to pay them 1,400. You understand? Very, very important. And also the vehicle that brings the concrete mixture, it doesn't travel by itself. So when I prepared an estimate for you, you might see transport for the concrete mixture. Mostly they take 300, 250, 500, depending on the distance, the area where your site is. You understand? It's very, very important. So those are the basic things I want to let you know. Okay. Yeah. So in doing so, preparing an estimate for a client, I incorporate all of this so that the client is aware. So once you give me money, there's no coming back to you that they give me extra money, because we need to factor all this. You will need a drum to hold water. Some locations you don't have water available. If you want to have a poly tank, that's okay. You need a blue drum to hold water. All these I incorporate them in my estimate so that by the time your house is done, you still have your poly tank, you have blue drums, you have pickers, you have shovels, you have wheelbarrows available in your house anytime. Mr. James is having his dream house complete, okay, because he positioned himself very well. Yes, he's my big brother, and I can't wait to see his house complete. Get the finishing, the glasses, tiling, electrical wiring. Man, I can't wait to see it. You understand? So, in case anybody needs our services, please do not hesitate. I'm here to only help. You understand? So, if you really need me, please do not hesitate to contact me. My name is Mr. Bright. I am the CEO of B&C Construction Group. Okay, my email is brightantonio@outlook.com. As you can see, I'm helping Mr. James to get his dream house done, and it's so easy. It's so easy. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't. Okay, share it to your friends, and please send me your email. I'll be expecting them. From me to you, shalom. God bless you wherever you are. Bye bye.